joining this conversation. Welcome to the Real Entrepreneur Show.
Thank you, Ranjini. The pleasure is all mine, and I'm very grateful to be here.
So, you are not the first CA to be a guest on my show.
Okay.
I have a very dear friend and a client of mine. I have
Mhm.
had her as a guest speaker. Having worked with experts like CAs and doctors, it's going to be another great conversation. Though this is a very technical subject that we have chosen. So, all the listeners, Lakshmi and me, we come from a common community. We met in a women entrepreneurs networking group, and that's how we got in touch. And today she is here as a guest. So, I keep inviting experts to share their perspective, their vision, the work they are up to, or anything for that matter they feel it is a need of the hour to be addressed. So, we have this topic that Lakshmi has chosen about decision making in business. So let's get into it. Before that, Lakshmi, I want you to introduce yourself. Where are you joining from? What do you do? And what is your exact niche or the problems that you solve for people?
Hi. So I'm joining from Alapi, Kerala. So you may have heard, the Venice of the East, the God's own country.
Yeah.
So I'm into practice since 12 years. Have been serving clients like founders, non-residents, and people who are investing into India on
Hmm.
aspects such as income tax, foreign exchange management, and litigation also. So I work at the intersection of all these law so that people don't make a bad move that can cost later. So it's been a very very grateful journey till date,
Hmm.
and I'm always happy to share my teeny beeny wisdom which I can share.
So beautiful and so cute of you that you shared this lovely introduction. So let's get into the topic for today. And we were talking about business. And my first question is, in your experience, what are the most common assumptions that become expensive mistakes? So, yeah.
See, over the course of all these years into my practice, I have found something very, very simple. That is, uh, the mistakes, they are not made with an intention of a fraud or, misplacement, something like that. Because they always assume we can do this later. Even if you are a very small proprietor or a LLP or a company or a corporate, something like we can do this later, it's just our money, we can figure this out later. um, Take the case of having a company formed outside India. People may think that it's only foreign jurisdiction, India mein kya hota hai, we don't have anything to do about this, so these are the small things which happens not because of the intention of committing a fraud, because we think like that, okay, aisa chalta hai, it happens like that. But nowadays business is not local. Okay, people move, money moves, companies move. So all these assumptions are getting costlier when you are moving across borders. So that is where you have to make the price, pay the price. So
Hmm.
I always put a question mark on the founders or whoever clientele I am serving. What is the real intention? Okay, is it assumption or is it what you want to carry forward? So it's
Okay.
because that when you are small, it is like it is not something very banks don't do. I mean, I'm not saying that banks don't do. It is very nitty. It's not that nitty gritty. It's not coming. But when you are scaling, when you're planning for future investments or valuations or exits or due diligence, all these assumptions can become costly. So the intention is it's not fraud, it's like simple assumption.
This is a very interesting no point that you know, and I think the topic that you have chosen, I think doing business, I would say, it's a great time. With technology, it is one of the greatest times we are in, and we can have a global exposure to our services and products. It's
Yes.
just like having this phone in our hand is enough. to expose
Mm.
ourselves to an international market. So before I run into further questions, I just want to see from a product base or a service base. So how easy it is to sell online right now. You know, you can have an e-commerce store and you can post your product line, and you can have and with all the social media, there's so much access to people, and people are buying, and all the business is happening. So coming back to the legal side of it, so if you can break it down, like if we started something on e-commerce or something online, and we have a small legal presence in the sense what is needed when it's a legal presence in India, and when the same service is being purchased or utilized outside through other customers. So how or let's say if this person is wants to move from India to Dubai or some other place and still wants to do business over there using the same accounts. So what is the complexity before we run into solutions?
Actually, the question itself is very complex, okay? Because it's not as simple as it sounds. Because one aspect you have touch base is, if you're, I mean, from your example, from my example, your example,
Yeah.
we are sitting in India and we are serving clients all abroad, okay?
Yes.
So it may come under, further, like, when you're earning money, it comes under the FEMA, that is, Foreign Exchange Management Act. And then, depending upon the turnover and depending upon the service, whether it's a product or service, you have to bound by the GST regulations as well. And there is a time limit, whether when you are exporting the goods and services, you cannot sell your products to n number of days. You cannot sell your products, export your products and say that I will get back the amount after 2 years or something like that. That is not the
Okay.
case. So there are strict, I'm not going into the technical details of number of days and something like that. So all these nitty gritties you have to take care into account.
Mm.
And you may say that, okay, I have often found businessmen, okay, because people are sitting in India and they may open a company abroad.
Yeah.
Intent response, okay, one of the most common mistakes or assumptions. I'm not saying that mistake, assumptions. So people will say that, okay, my relative is there, I will have the company, because outside India where there is very much flexibility, you don't have to be there or something like that in most of the cases, or you just visit them and then open the company and come back. Okay,
Mm.
there are countries like that. So people will say that, okay, my company is running there, okay, I don't have to do anything from here.
Mm.
But it is not like that. You are sitting here, I am sitting here, I am bound by the rules and regulations of Foreign Exchange Management Act, Reserve Bank of India notifications and guidelines, something like that.
Mm.
So uh, what I want to say is that all these cross border transactions, they don't you cannot shift the burden just like flipping a switch. It's
Mm.
not like that. You have to plan everything accordingly. And often people have this assumption that just because my company is in Dubai or just because my company is in Singapore, it is not taxable in India. It's not like that. You have to take into account, where is the control, where is the place of management. In there is an important decision that is being came out in the case of Binny Bansal and Flipkart, something like that. So I mean, substance over form, where that everything has to be uh, taken into account. So when you take a decision like that, you have to take into account n number of factors. Okay, just because we have the advantage of doing a global presence by sitting here doesn't mean that we should violate, or we should not take it very lightly. There are certain rules and regulations that we have to follow. If you follow, fair enough. But if you don't follow, when you want to transfer the shares, when you want to do an exit, or when you want to raise more money, it become more complicated.
True.
So that is the cost of assumption.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
So, like, I would say there are many people, if they are listening for the first time or maybe on a replay later, this may come as, something that they need to get back and see whether they are complying to the law of the land and the way it has to be, and wherever they are, like wherever their business is. No? So, when you're big, this comes into consideration very, significantly. When you are small, you ignore all these, like we can figure it out later, you first said in the beginning. but then having with integrity doing things, it really matters. So wherever you are, big or small,
Yes.
let's get the checks done.
Yes, it doesn't mean that, just because, there is nobody on the other side of the lane, and if the traffic signal is red, just because there are no vehicle doesn't mean that I must, pass through it. I have a choice.
Hmm.
I can wait till the signal is, turning into green, right? So
Okay.
that is always I say to my clients,
Yeah.
just do it.
Yes. Things this needed to be taken care. Like then it may become too expensive at a later point, which
Yes,
you may definitely regret. Like I could have done this pretty much earlier.
yes.
Yeah. So to do this cross-border expansion, like whatever company it is, like whether it's a product or service. So, what is your advice to the founders to be careful, like from your experience, when it comes to expansion?
Say for example, I'm taking this question in another way. If you want to, set up a company in Dubai, for
Okay.
example, okay. So I would say that, first you run through, your CA first, because your CA knows your, financial health, right? she
Yes.
he or she knows your financial health. She knows, where, you will be in, 5 or 10 years, because she has been with you. So run this idea with your CA, and then, take all those checks of all the complaints that are to be done, and then, have the trusted party there also, and then follow the law of land. Inform it through your AD bank, that is authorized dealer bank. File the forms, do the things,
Hmm.
and do it, whatever filings that is to be needed on a, a half yearly basis or a yearly basis for the things, depending upon, I'm not expanding it on a,
Yeah, I
integrity
understand.
basis, but, whatever filings that you need on a annual basis, you do it. Because when you're opening a company in Dubai, say for example, from looking for the FEMA aspect, you have to file some forms like, form FC. You have to inform the authorized dealer bank, the bank with whom you are dealing with. They will inform the RBI. RBI will allot you a unique identification number, UAN number, and then you have to remit the money, and it goes like this. Only after that, you can do the transactions and everything like that, and you have to file some forms every year
Hmm.
with the financial statements of the uh, company abroad. So all these procedures and compliances are there. So first your CA may have to look into that aspect also, whether it is feasible. Then, if you're sitting in India, your global income is taxable, you're earning money here. So is it worthwhile? So that is why, it's very easy to form a company, but then, you have to take into so much of factors, whether, it is worthwhile, whether, it's not taxable, whether it is scaling. So that is why I always ask, if they are having another CA, run it them through their CA first. Then, take the financial health check first, and then come for the other consultation.
Okay, so CA would be the first point where you can have this idea being like showcased, and re-evaluate, revisit these things, and then take a informed decision of going cross border and doing whatever is needed when it comes to legally comply to both the lands, or wherever
Hmm.
you are,
See,
right?
why I am saying, consult this your CA first is that, when you're having a foreign asset outside India, if you're a resident, you are supposed to disclose that in your Indian ITR as well. So I have, getting queries, or have clarified so many cases where the CAs were not aware of them. And
Hmm.
then you know, when I asked the CAs, no ma'am, we were not aware because the client is not telling us.
Hmm.
Hmm. So be,
Yeah, yeah, we can understand, like when it comes to the taxation and the relationship with your auditor, we keep things
Yeah,
hidden,
you have to
also
trust
in
your.
terms of telling the entire thing around it. But yeah, this also can cost you, in the
Yes.
long run, if you
Yeah,
are.
every non-compliance is going to cost you.
Yeah. So, when it comes to taking financial decisions, when it comes to, let's say, maybe taking funding or any other way, like, getting an investor, or finding some form of financial or in a big way, what advice you would give the founders, or maybe things to ask yourself, something like that.
See, founders are very smart, okay? They are very smart. So we generally don't have to give any advice, but I ask, 2 3 questions like, you know, why are you doing this? It's not the kind of, the why when, as a coach, you're giving, we will be given some advice. No, why are you doing this? Because why from the financial point of view,
Hmm.
okay? Why this investment is being made?
Hmm.
So if what is that three, run it to a 3 5 years of later, is it making sense?
Okay.
Okay. And what is your long term strategy? Do you want out, or do you want goodwill, or do you want to scale it up further?
Hmm.
And all these tiny steps that you are taking for this structuring this investment, or taking a loan or advance,
Yeah.
does it make any sense? And is the documents defense proof?
Hmm.
Sometimes when we are in such a position that we want to grow big, and then we may take funds from here and funds from there, and then for knowingly or unknowingly we may sign on some papers,
Hmm. Okay.
right? So does it make sense after 5 years? What is that, are you reading the fine letter between the
Yeah.
documents?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So really, it's a cross check, and maybe a double check whether this is needed, and as we move ahead in future,
Hmm.
priorities change, and is it really worth taking this decision now? So this is very important. I would say the founders, as you said, are smart. They take their decisions by themselves, but and a financial expert or auditor or a lawyer, where they can where you have enough information to reflect on, uh, and brainstorm or reflect on this idea whether to go for this decision or not. So tell me, like, in your experience, like, the silliest blunder, if at all you have come across, like, which was like something that did cost a lot or would have costed a lot in the future. Is there anything, any mistake that you have come across recently with any of your clients, or which you want to share, that it may sound so silly but it had a cost?
Uh, Actually, I will not say that it's a mistake, because we are not supposed to do that, because this happens because they are unaware. So what we can do is we can do the whatever remedy available. Most of the cases you have you if were available online also, because lots of we don't have to go for the corporate level.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people, salaried individuals who were who has this ESOP thing, they were foreign ESOP, they were not disclosing them in the ITR. And the cost of not disclosing them in the ITR, it can backfire. So in the budget also there is a voluntary disclosure scheme coming up. So you can understand how many non-disclosure there may be. If the government itself is coming for a scheme like that, there may be so much disclosure. So it's simple thing. We don't have to go for the corporate level exam.
So it's as simple as
Yeah, simple as that.
not sharing the
Yeah.
information to the
Yeah.
relevant people in a
Yeah.
way that it makes sense. And yeah, so like going forward, let's say in another decade, is these assumptions are going to cost big in a decade time? The way technology and the way we are moving fast in this AI era. What do you think? Are the assumptions? It's going to be the cost is going to grow in another
Yes,
decade.
of course, because now everything is digital.
Hmm.
So gone are the days where you have to wait n number of days for getting a clarification from the bank. It's not something, nothing like that nowadays, right? Everything, the data is exchanged by the countries, data is exchanged by the financial institutions, by the banks. The AML reporting is there, and anti money laundering reporting is there, country by country reporting is there. So the assumptions which people think that we can figure it out later, or ऐसे करके
Yeah.
बाद में देख लेंगे, it's going to be, some 3 4 years down the lane, it will be very very costly.
Yeah. So I think the threat of the cost of not following the law, or not being compliant, or not doing, and not just assuming things like this can be done later, it's not important. And as you said, a business overseas does and thinking that it is an overseas business doesn't have tax compliance in India. So all these things, with the technology and digitization, it's more clear. The information is available for exchange. So definitely no chance of no running away and hiding. You have to be clear and with integrity and doing business. Yeah. So thank you so much, Lakshmi, for sharing all this. This is a technical topic. Though
Yes.
we can run into details, and there may be many policies and numbers you can run us through. But we are not talking about it. We are making it very simple. So, best place, get back to your CA. Just get the check done, so that you are doing what is needed in your business
Yes.
to be compliant, and whichever land you are doing business. So tell me, Lakshmi, like who are your clients, and what kind of services you offer in terms of the work that you do, and where we can find you, who on social media. If somebody is listening and want to connect with you, what is the best way to reach you?
I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm also, my website is also there. So I'm just a, message away from LinkedIn. You can connect. Uh, uh, Second thing is, my founders, I've worked with founders or NRI clients,
Mhm.
and other corporates as well. So I am not supposed to disclose their names. I'm bound by the
Right. No
confidentiality
problem. Yeah.
requirements.
So Lakshmi is available on LinkedIn. She's
Yes,
just a
ma'am.
message away. And if you want to learn more when it comes to the cross-border taxes and policy compliance, you can always reach out to her. And thank you so much for sparing your time. And this was a very valuable conversation and information that you shared. And I look forward to having you again, maybe on some other topic.
Yeah, pleasure is mine, Rajani. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye
Yeah,
for now.
bye bye. Bye.